It can be easy to forget that our favorite actors and actresses have abilities outside of just acting, but some of them have talents you would never expect. Here are our picks of 10 famous actors with absolutely surprising talents. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to CBR for cool vids like this one. Will Smith, musician. The fact that Will Smith is a musician is semi-well known, but the full extent of his talents is understated. In 1998, Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff won the first ever Grammy Award in the rap category. He skipped going to college because of how successful his music career was. And then he landed the role as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and the rest, as we say, is history.
What's up?
You know the rap songs at the end of all the Men in Black movies? Well, those were all performed by Will Smith. Daisy Ridley, jazz singer. In addition to being one of the most popular actresses in the past 2 years, Daisy Ridley is also a singer and a dancer, particularly a jazz singer. In a strange twist, one of her 2 middle names is Jazz. She's performed with Barbra Streisand in the past. Perhaps the most amazing thing about Daisy is that her breakthrough role was in The Force Awakens. For a young actress, that's the sort of thing that jumpstarts a career. But being relatively unknown is a trend with the Star Wars franchise. Harrison Ford, whose Han Solo Ridley replaced as pilot of the Millennium Falcon, was an on-set carpenter when he was first discovered.
Oh, are you doing magic?
Emma Watson, boxing. Aside from playing the role of Hermione, Emma Watson has gone on to be a UN Goodwill ambassador and an excellent role model for young women. Somehow she has become even more interesting since then. Emma recently took up boxing to promote self-defense classes for women in the Middle East. She's the truest definition of a triple threat we've ever seen. Just think if Hermione could box. That would have made the Harry Potter films a lot more interesting than they already are.
Look who it is. Did you see who?
Carrie Fisher, script doctoring. The late great Carrie Fisher is best remembered as Princess Leia, but she was one of the most sought-after script doctors in Hollywood. Whenever a studio had a promising script that just needed a little bit of that special something, they would send it to Carrie, who would in turn make it a far more exciting movie.
We did it!
She even rewrote some of her lines in Return of the Jedi, and then went on to work on Hook, Lethal Weapon 3, and many other films. On top of script doctoring, Carrie Fisher is also credited with several books. The world has lost one of its greats, and she will be truly missed. Gal Gadot, insane athleticism. Gal Gadot is more than just a gorgeous actress. She's also a talented tennis, volleyball, and basketball player. She also does all of her own stunts. But there's a reason for her athletic abilities. Because of her Israeli heritage, she served a mandatory 2 years as a member of the Israeli Defense Force. So in addition to all of her other talents, Gal is the type of girl you want around during a zombie apocalypse. She's a real-life version of her Fast and Furious character. Ryan Gosling, jazz guitarist. Ryan Gosling has too many talents to be a mere mortal. He owns his own restaurant where he occasionally works as a waiter. He actually knows how to build things out of wood, a la The Notebook, and even knows how to bartend. But perhaps the most surprising is that he's a jazz guitarist. Gosling has a powerful love of music and leads the indie band Dead Man's Bones as their main vocalist.
You're gonna be fine, baby doll.
Chloe Moretz, butterfly knife mastery. Chloe Moretz is about the last person we would expect to have badass butterfly knife skills, but her role in 2010's Kick-Ass demanded she learn how, so Chloe taught herself. Although the blade she used to learn was dull, she still cut herself multiple times. Let's face it, butterfly knives are not for children, but knowing how to twirl it around should earn you instant access to the Wu-Tang Clan. With a gaggle of older brothers, it's no surprise that Chloe knows how to handle herself in the most tomboyish ways.
Oh, I don't know what's more syrupy, you two or Luke's chin?
Ariel Winter, martial artist. Ariel Winter, the Modern Family star and anti-bullying advocate, has a talent that would surprise most. She's a purple belt in Taekwondo. It makes sense when you think about it. Ariel has had to take a strong stance against bullying online after being a victim of it herself. And self-defense has proven to increase self-confidence, something that she has in spades. In addition to martial arts, Ariel's also an avid tennis and soccer player. She lends her voice to multiple characters in both video games and other television shows, and stands on the threshold of a promising career in the film industry. Chris Evans, tap dancer? Can you imagine Chris Evans tap dancing? It's almost fitting in a way. Chris Evans' mother was a tap dancer, so she passed the talent on to her children, something Chris is quite proud of today, despite the easy teasing that it can bring on.
He's fast and she's weird.
But really, who's gonna tease Chris Evans? Or fault a guy for being close to his mom? On top of these talents, Chris is quite the musician. There's a video on the web of Chris and his brother performing Fire and Rain, as if he needed yet another lovable quality to make the rest of us guys look bad. Chris Pratt, French braided hair? The hunky star of Jurassic World, Guardians of the Galaxy, and a number of other films has one particular talent few know about. He can make a mean French braid. And no, we don't mean food. His sister taught him how to braid hair when he was young, and Chris would regularly braid his wife's hair after they married. But when the braid started to damage his wife's hair, Chris learned to French braid hair to lessen the damage. That's true love if we ever heard of it. And if his acting career falls through, he's always got a job in the cosmetic industry. Margot Robbie, holding her breath. Remember that underwater fight scene in Suicide Squad? Unlike many parts of the film, that wasn't CGI. Margot Robbie trained herself to hold her breath for a full minute underwater. After she reached that goal, she decided to go even further. Now the actress can hold her breath for a full 5 minutes at a time. She compares it to a sort of meditative state. It's a rare skill, and one that will likely come in handy in the future. Imagine the film roles she can take with that particular talent on her resume. Emma Watson, a boxer? Ryan Gosling, a jazz guitarist? Our favorite actors and actresses never cease to amaze us, or win unrelenting amounts of fandom. Do these stars have any other talents that we didn't mention? Comment below and let us know. And don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more content like this.